book lovers, my name is Carrie and this is Spines and Spoilers. It is November 16th. I am about to go to the store and pick up a decent ring light, hopefully, we'll see. I found a decently priced one though, and I'm hoping that it might help with my videos. I'm also going to go to the library and switch out some books, and then I will go home and update you later today. I decided to go to the library first because it's quicker. I am returning House of Leaves, sadly, because November has exploded and there's been a lot of chaos, and I don't have the mental and emotional bandwidth that it would take to read that book right now. I'm also returning Dead Water by C.A. Fletcher. I tried to read this book. It was painfully boring. Can't say that I really enjoyed it. The writing wasn't terrible. It just was painfully slow. The last book that I'm returning is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Thankfully, I actually liked this one, which I'm not surprised because it's Neil Gaiman and I love Neil Gaiman stuff. Since I'm no longer going to be reading House of Leaves, at least not yet, I do eventually want to read it and give it its own vlog, just not right this moment. It's just a very bad time. But I'm going to go in and just grab a book. Instead of involving the pumpkin in this, I'm just going to grab a book that I've been interested in and add that one to the vlog instead. Okay, that was fun. It turns out that I do not have a copy of Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I thought I had a copy, but the ebook that I had somehow got messed up. Anyway, I instead decided to grab Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Either way, it'll be my first Riley Sager book. I didn't really look anything up as far as reviews go on this, so I'm really just going into this one blind. As for a replacement for House of Leaves, I could not decide. One of the ones that I found is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, which I have seen making its rounds on Goodreads. I don't remember a lot about it, but I knew that I had put it in my want to read section on Goodreads, so I'm gonna trust myself there. The other one that I grabbed is Juniper and Thorn, another one, because my memory is that of a jelly bean, I don't remember a lot about, but I know that I wanted to read it. So I'm going to read like the first few chapters of each, I think, and then decide which one I want to use to replace it. But now I'm going to go pick up that ring light and maybe a couple of other supplies if I can find any. We'll have to see. I got a very small selfie stick, which has increased my reach by like 1 arm's length. So that's cool. I think there's supposed to be a way to like turn it on and off with the selfie stick, but I am not that adept at it yet. Anyway, I am going to kind of drop my stuff off and then probably go pick up my husband from work. I forgot to test out the ring light. I'm gonna see if I can do that from the car. Trying to see if there's literally any difference. Yeah, the one I already have is so much better. This one barely glows. Maybe I need to get it in a more contained setting, but this is very sad and disappointing. It's mild enough that I could probably use it to read at night, so silver linings. I'm waiting outside of my husband's school for him to get out for the day. In the meantime, I figured I might read some Home Before Dark. For those who tell ghost stories and those who believe them. I'm not very far in, but I found an interesting quote. Grief is tricky like that. It can lie low for hours, long enough for magical thinking to take hold. Then, when you're good and vulnerable, it will leap out at you like a funhouse skeleton, and all the pain you thought was gone comes roaring back. Not wrong. Good morning. It is November 27th. Future Carrie here. I meant the 17th, not the 27th. And I swear that Ezra knows when I am about to record something. Are you comfortable, ma'am? We're gonna try to do this one-handed without making her move because she's just so comfortable. That is why I put the book here. I read about halfway through Home Before Dark last night. I don't know, there's like a vague sense of shame because, I don't know, people talk such shit so much shit about Riley Sager, and about how terrible his writing is, and I kind of love this. I don't like that I kind of love this, but I got halfway through this in no time at all, and I honestly probably would have finished it last night if I hadn't physically stopped myself from reading. Love break, I guess. But yes, I think it's because it's a story about a haunted house, and I'm quite a sucker for haunted house stories. It's got big Haunting of Hill House vibes, which I'm a huge sucker for. Also, Ezra left. I'm sad that she left, but also slightly relieved. But yes, halfway through, probably over half. I don't know how to feel about this. So I kind of just cut off my last vlog. I don't think I even did an outro for that one. I'm pretty sure I had to go back and film one. There were several family emergencies at the same time, and when I say several, I mean several. There was a lot going on. There's still technically stuff going on, but there's nothing that I can do about it. So right now we're really in that wait and see period of things. I won't go super in detail about the things that really happened, like I'm not gonna give names or anything like that, but one person's heart is failing, one person had a stroke, one person had an accident, a friend of the family is in the psychiatric unit. Jesus Christ, what else was there? There was something else. I don't even remember what it was at this point. Oh yes, and one person is finally through with a really problematic person, and we're trying to get them out of their house. But hopefully the holidays will make things slightly calmer. Probably not. Holidays never make things calmer. But in this case, I don't know, maybe they will. At any rate, I wanted to take a minute to kind of cover what I've already read in the month of November and what I have left to read. One thing that I forgot to mention in my last video before cutting it off is that I switched out Dead Water by C.A. Fletcher with The Maidens by Mcelidis. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I quite enjoyed it, actually. That being said, let's see what I have read so far in November. The Maidens by Mcelidis, of course, I gave it 4 stars, as I said. It by Stephen King, I gave that one 2 stars. It was horrendous. I hated it. I will be reading Jawbone by Monica Ueda in this vlog. Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, I gave that one 4.5 stars. It was quite close to perfect, and I love it. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, I gave it 4 stars. I love everything by Neil Gaiman, I swear. And this one had a lot to offer. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. They gave that one 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I switched out The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager with Home Before Dark. I believe I mentioned that. I've read Nothing But Black and Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. Gave it 2.5 stars because it is not long and developed enough. It needs more padding. Valley of Shadows by Rudy Ruiz. I gave it 3 stars because I don't actually like westerns. I don't know why I thought it would be any different. I guess because it's horror. Gallant by Victoria Schwab. Quite enjoyable. It ended up surprising me. I need to read If It Bleeds in this vlog. The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, which I quite enjoyed. It was extremely eerie. I need to read The Hole by Hye-Young in this vlog, and The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I gave 3.5 stars. It disappointed me a little bit, but it was still quite good. I blotted out the spot where House of Leaves was, and I'm sad about it, but it's necessary. I haven't quite decided yet which book I'm going to replace it with. That being the case, I am going to read a little bit out of Fevered Star and of Juniper and Thorn. I don't know why I can't talk today, but I'm going to read a little bit of each one and see which one I prefer. Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. Ooh. That's gorgeous. Oh no. Is this a sequel? I don't know how I missed that this was a sequel. It even says, welcome back to the fantasy series in the blurb. Oh my god. I can't believe I've done this. Juniper and Thorn it is, I guess. I'm sad. I wanted to read that. I'm still going to read it at some point. Just now I have to find the first book in the series, and then I will read this one. I thought that the premise was slightly confusing, but it still sounded interesting. That makes sense now. I'm glad that I didn't just start reading the book without reading. Okay, it's officially replaced by Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. Make sure it's not a sequel. No, it just is a novel. It would say it's a sequel, right? I'm pretty sure it would. Ooh. I love a good map. Now, as far as today goes, I have a lot of homework to do. I have a lot of housework to do, and I would like to get some editing done at some point, and I'm going to try and sneak some reading in at some point. Oh, I forgot to discuss the other arcs that I read. So far, my arcs for November are killing it. I believe that I discussed the fact that I read The Illuminaries. I just haven't highlighted it yet. I gave it 4 stars. It was a really interesting book. Also, Sister, Monster Maiden. That one got a 3.5. It was kind of a lot, but it wasn't bad. Read the second book in the Music Box series by Carbone. Another 4-star read. It was a lovely graphic novel, and there were no penises in this one. Lastly, I read another graphic novel called Pardalita by Joana Estrela. It is a translated work. She is from Portugal originally. All of this being said, first, before I do anything, before I start my busy day, I'm going to actually have some breakfast. I'm going to make myself actually eat breakfast so that I don't think about it at, 6 p.m. tonight and realize that I haven't eaten all day, which happens far too often. So yes, first, breakfast. Breakfast, and I'll read while I'm at it, and hopefully I won't get caught up in that. I'll set an alarm. There we go. Maybe that'll work. One of the things that I need to do today is to change out the linen on my bed, which I already started, as you can see. So I am 3/4 of the way into Home Before Dark, and there was just a big reveal that legitimately sent shivers down my spine. I won't spoil it for anyone, but holy crap. I never expected to legitimately, enjoy this book, but I really am. I really like this book so far. I finished the book and okay, now I understand why people shit talk Riley Sager. What the hell? Plot holes, and I was here for a haunted house. It was going to be a 4-star book. It was so close to being a 4-star book, but now it's 3.5. But now that I am done with this good yet ultimately slightly disappointing read because I was looking forward to a haunted house, I guess I will move on to my second and potentially last ever Stephen King read, if it bleeds. A lot is hanging on this. I am not very happy with Stephen King right now after reading It. I have a lot of vitriol towards the man and his writing. So if this doesn't pull me back in, I don't know if anything will. I have some more chores that I need to get done, but I'm stopping now for lunch. I will read the ebook while I'm having lunch, and then whenever I get back to cleaning and doing homework and all that jazz, I'll put on the audiobook. I don't think that I can read this right now. I'm pretty sure that it drained all of the tolerance that I have for Stephen King, and that store is just completely depleted at the moment. Maybe I will come back to this later. Maybe I will be able to read Stephen King again one day. This is not the first time that this has happened, where I have to just stop reading his stuff for a while. The last time, it lasted about 2 years though, so we'll have to see how long it lasts this time. So let's see what I'm going to read in its place. Let's go with the yellow. Notes on an Execution? I don't remember this one at all. Apparently it's a book by Danya Kakafka, but I don't have this book. I don't have an ebook or an audiobook, physical book, nothing. I don't know why it's in here, so that one is being tossed. There were theoretically only supposed to be books in that pumpkin that I have a copy of in some way, shape, or form, so I don't know what happened. This isn't the first time it's happened either, so maybe I just need to redo my whole system. Alright, take two. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. Grab one. It's a green. And I've already read this one. The Dream Thieves is the second book in the Raven Boys series, and I literally read that in September. No idea why it's in this pumpkin. Come on now, third time's a charm. Let's see, let's do a blue. This one has to be it, right? So I actually have this one, and it's one that I've been wanting to read, and I have a physical copy. And here is the physical copy. I actually stained this one with coffee. I don't make a habit of doing that, but apparently it's happened more than once. I started reading this book at the very beginning of this year, got about a quarter of the way in, and it just kind of dropped off because I got into a reading slump. It's basically about a school of girls who are kind of marooned on an island in a sense. They weren't originally trapped there, but then a plague started spreading. This plague causes mutations in the girls, and then one of them goes missing in particular, and I'm pretty sure that is the mystery that we're trying to figure out throughout the book. Okay, now back to my lunch and maybe doing some light reading. I wrote down my rating for Home Before Dark, and also switched out If It Bleeds for Wilder Girls. I'm about 75 pages in or so, and my brain is so much more into this than it was into If It Bleeds. I'm going to switch to the audiobook for a bit while I go fold some laundry. I ended up reading longer than I intended to, but there's still plenty of time left in the day, theoretically. Okay, so I have put up around 5 bags of laundry. Yes, 5. And that's not even all of it. Depression is a hell of a drug. I put on my audiobook for Wilder Girls while I was hanging things up, and I am 20 chapters in at this point. I stopped to take a break for a little bit, and to start considering what I want to make for dinner. I think it's probably just going to be a leftover night, though.
For the Amico, and I realised something. He made the sound. From an outsider's perspective, it looks a bit like Tommy is taking credit for something.
I both love and hate seeing trees like this with their limbs all exposed because it looks so cool. But also, that one's already fallen and these other guys aren't far behind. Also, squirrel. I don't think you can see it on here, but there's a squirrel. Good morning. It is November 18th. Last night I finished Wilder Girls and then I went on to read The Hole by Hye-Young, and it was okay. There were parts of it that were good, but there were some problematic elements, like there was some ableism in there, and I don't know, it felt kind of rushed at times. I feel like it should have been longer. There's a dog. There's a dog. Oh my goodness, there's a dog. I'm at a walking trail near my apartment, actually, and I'm going to try and get some walking done this morning, and maybe put on my audiobook while I walk, maybe just enjoy nature for a little bit. I need to touch grass for a little bit though, you know, I need to just take a minute to breathe. As I'm sure you can hear, it's right next to a road. So hopefully this will go far enough back into the woods where it won't be as much of an issue. Also, they put a sign on this tree, and I'm surprised. found a leaf the size of my head. So mission accomplished, really. Heading back to my car because it is freezing for one thing. Like, I can't feel my left hand. It looks like most of the nature trail just like goes along the road, which is pointless. I'm surprisingly close to the squirrel. I don't know why it's letting me get this close. Do you have rabies? Oh my god. I'm gonna try to get slightly closer without scaring him off. Oh my god, you're so cute. He saw me and said nope. He has something in his mouth. What do you have, sir? Today is brought to you by the letter B. Keep on spotting things. I wonder what this is. Okay, so I guess that achieved part of the reason that I stopped at the park. I got to touch some grass. I've got my giant leaf. And generally just got to walk around and enjoy nature a little bit. Just not as much as I would have liked because the trail didn't really go back as far as I thought it did. And I was kind of doing some exploring, and it looks like most of the trail is just like beside the road. And I wish that it was actually like back in the woods, which is the point of a nature trail, you know? I don't know. At any rate, I am about to go to the store and pick up some stuff for some chicken noodle soup. Today is actually the coldest day of the year so far, so maybe it was not the best idea to go today. My hands are still freezing. My face is still cold. We literally had the first frost of the year last night, so not great decision making on my part. Though, to be fair, the sun and the heat make me really sick, and I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to have to worry about that today. Another reason that I went to the park was because the stores were not open and I didn't want to go back to the apartment yet. But they should be open by now, so let's see. I still got here before it was open. It's going to be so thick. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of reading today, so I probably won't record much more. I'm just not really feeling up to it today. I think I twisted my back earlier while I was at the store, so now I'm just in a lot of pain. I've also done a lot of cleaning this week, so I may have injured it then. I'm not sure. So I came to Starbucks to study and I thought, oh, I'll just sit outside. That seems like a great idea. Definitely nothing wrong with that. I am freezing. My fingers are freezing. I'm just holding my cup to keep my fingers from freezing. And I'm probably just gonna pick things up and go inside or go home. I don't know. I ended up just moving inside. I didn't get much reading done, but I got a lot of homework done. I think I got around 8 assignments done, and that's half of what is going to be due in the next couple of days. So I still have some grinding to do, unfortunately, but I got a chunk of it out of the way. Right now, though, I'm about to head back to my apartment so I can spend the rest of Sunday with my husband, because I've spent the first half basically at Starbucks doing homework. Honestly, probably won't do much anything else today because it's Sunday. Maybe try to get some more homework done, possibly some more reading, but kind of doubtful. I do need to start planning what I'm going to be making for my family's Thanksgiving dinner this Thanksgiving, so start looking into options for that. Good morning. It is November 21st, and I have so much stuff I need to do today. I'm probably going to write out a to-do list so that I can actually stay on task. As far as reading goes, I read about 4 chapters of Juniper and Thorn yesterday, maybe a little bit more. but I haven't done any reading yet today, and I didn't really do any reading for the rest of the night yesterday, because I was mostly focused on homework and then spending time with my husband. So I'm going to make some coffee right quick and see if that helps with the whole motivation factor. Okay, so I think I've had a decently productive morning so far, considering. I got a shower, I made my coffee, I did some dishes and took out the trash. I also fed the cats, had some breakfast, and made a to-do list. So yeah, I think I've had a decently productive morning. As far as what I want to get done today, one of the big things that I want to do is take down my fall decorations and start putting up my winter decorations, which is going to be a whole process in itself. I would also like to finish the audiobook for the Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. I have the audiobook for it on Libby, because I checked it out from the library. And I really like it so far, but it's due in like 2 days. So I need to finish that before I do anything more with Juniper and Thorn. I have like 9 more days left for Juniper and Thorn. It's fine, but I only have 2 left for Sunbearer Trials. I would also theoretically like to get a video film today about the releases for 2023, the book releases that I'm most looking forward to. Theoretically, I would like to get that film today, but we'll have to see. I also have homework. I have 4 different assignments that are due by tomorrow night that I really need to work on. Otherwise, I also either today or tomorrow need to go to the store and pick up stuff for Thanksgiving. We're making pumpkin pie, tres leche, wassail, and I feel like there was one other thing, but I don't remember what that one other thing was. Chicken noodle soup. That wasn't confirmed. It was just something that I was considering doing because we have the stuff for it, but we'll see. And don't worry, that's not going to be like the full extent of what we're having for Thanksgiving dinner. I am personally not a huge fan of the holiday of Thanksgiving. The only good things about it are, you know, the food and the family. I do feel like we need to find another way to celebrate it, though. I think that might be it for today, though. We'll have to see. Things just have a way of popping up unexpectedly. Like my hair. I forgot to mention that I also just have some regular household chores left to do, like making the bed and just sweeping and, you know, scooping the litter box. Today is going to be a busy day. Some of this might have to get split up into tomorrow. Because I also, as you know, still need to read Jawbone and Juniper and Thorn, which I'm not making great progress on. Okay, it's time to get up and actually do something productive. Now. I took down my fall decorations. I just filmed 3 videos. How did I just film 3 videos? I don't understand. But yes, so I have a lot of editing to do. I did not intend to film that much. I have so much homework, so much editing. I have to make dinner. I have to pick up my prescriptions. This is a stressful day. Alright, I was able to pick up my medications. Shout out to my mom for helping me with that, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to afford it this month. So I'm glad that she was able to help. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my night just doing homework and not really doing much anything interesting, but I'll keep you updated if anything actually happens. Good morning. It is November 22nd. I'm still waking up, so I'm going to spend the morning just having some breakfast and probably reading some Juniper and Thorn and petting this kitty. What are you doing? Hey, no, we don't chew on the library books. Excuse me, ma'am. I need this. I need my hand. No, but I need it, though. So, I forgot to mention, I started listening to the audiobook for The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Dawkins, because it is a library book that I checked out on Libby, and I only have like 2 days left to finish it. So I'm kind of just rushing through it when I can, in between reading Juniper and Thorn and all the other things that I've been up to. And I have a theory that this is actually Colleen Hoover. Maybe I'm wrong, and all of them just write the same. But the voice that the person is writing in is exactly like Colleen Hoover. If that's not the case, though, and you don't want to support Colleen Hoover as a person because, you know, she tried to block the person who was accusing her son of sexual assault and all kinds of shitty things, then maybe just read Rachel Hawkins. The writing is the same.
It's that gap between infection and awareness that holds the most opportunity for tragedy. We certainly saw that in Henry Stanley's tale.
And this is the principal of her call, who's really pissed off that
The evening of the 27th of November. I have not updated in a while, like nothing significant anyway, because, you know, Thanksgiving happened and my stepdaughter was here with us for the weekend, and, you know, things were just busy and I just didn't really think of filming all that often. I do have an update, however. I read Jawbone. I'm sorry, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I don't think that this is really fit for human consumption. Some things happen in this book that I don't think that I can even talk about on YouTube. Probably be flagged and taken down. There was a lot of like dark, like immensely negative, damaging shit in it though. Enough that I tried to go on and read Juniper and Thorn, but I just can't, because it's so dark too. I got a few chapters in, not super far, and it's so dark, and it's not bad. It's honestly not bad, just because of the fact that I read Jawbone ahead of time. My brain is not in any state of mind to read Juniper and Thorn right now. Okay, I retrieved the pumpkin and an Ezra. Let's do this. Baby. She can sense it when I'm recording, I swear. I think we've agreed that she's going to sit on my lap while I do this. Ezra, what is that? She's so confused. Does it seem like a good one? Alright. Well, I've read this one. It is The Atlas 6. I read that one. I didn't like it as much initially, like it was fine, and then I read the sequel, and that retroactively made the first one better, if that makes any sense. Take two. Okay, we got a blue. Is that good? I've also read this one. It's The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Dawkins. I enjoyed it. It was not the best thing that I've ever read, but, you know, it was good. Okay, let's try for something different. Let's try green. Oh, she's not even interested anymore. Alright. Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like a say? Is it good? Ah, okay. You don't care. It's What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which I've already read, and I'm tempted just to reread at this point because I'm tired of drawing names. But I'm gonna keep going. This was very good. Wuthering Heights. I have read this year. The Hacienda. I have read this year. I need to just go through this whole pumpkin, apparently, and take out all of the stuff that I have read, because I have not kept up with that. I finally got one that I haven't already read, at least not all the way. I've only halfway read it, so take that, universe, or whatever the hell is going on. Give this on Audible. I have read about half of it, I think. It was interesting, but something came out that I was more interested in at the time. There was nothing wrong with it. I just, you know, some new book energy. think you actually have a degree. I don't think you know what you're talking about. These are all the duds. I'm going to have to thoroughly weed through that pumpkin and pick out everything that I have read for next season, which is fine because I was going to have to do that anyway, but still, there's already a lot of stuff in there. That being said, I am going to put on my audiobook, chill with Ezra, and I don't know, maybe get some homework done. I don't know if that's going to happen, but maybe. Okay, so I checked and I have about 3.5 hours left of the butchering art. I think I am going to listen to the audiobook for about an hour tonight, maybe, before going to bed, and then tomorrow I will finish by reading the ebook, which I have on Kindle. I basically have every kind of copy of the butchering art, other than an actual physical copy. So I decided to just switch to the ebook for a little. Hi. Good morning. It is November 28th. I have like 2 chapters left in the ebook for the butchering art, so I should be done soon. I also have a notification apparently. Yes, sir. I'm trying to use the selfie stick that I got with mixed results because it's a cool idea, but it requires you to actually have a steady hand, and my hands are just getting more and more shaky. This morning though, I am going to drink my coffee and read the rest of the butchering art and then start on some homework. I have unfortunately let the homework pile up quite a bit during the Thanksgiving holiday. I would hold you out here, but I feel like that adds nothing other than you being able to see more of the room behind me. Like, you can see all of my bookcases at once, sort of. Ah, and a Fenners, hello. I've really been enjoying this book though. I did most of the reading last night, honestly. Like, I stayed up way longer than I should have. I wanted to at least leave a little tiny bit to finish today though. Okay, so apparently I was closer to being done than I thought. You see, it says that there's like 50 pages left or so, and I've read like 71%. That's because all of the rest of it is notes and citations. So I guess I'm done. I enjoyed it. I always feel a little bit weird trying to give a rating to nonfiction books because that's what happened. I realized that I didn't really discuss what it was about. So the butchering art is about a man named Joseph Lester, who was a Victorian doctor who completely revolutionized medicine. It's grisly, it goes in depth, it's absolutely fascinating. So I guess if I have to give it a rating, 5? I don't know how to rate nonfiction books, okay? It was well executed. The information was extremely interesting. I didn't want to stop reading it the whole time. I think that bodes well, and I'll definitely recommend it to other people in the future. And I would still like a physical copy of this book for my shelf. I have a whole collection of creepy books, and I would absolutely love to add that to, well, macabre, I guess would be a better word, but I'd love to add it to my macabre book collection. Alright, let's take a moment to review what I've read in this particular vlog. First, I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was almost 4 stars, but then the ending lost. Next was Wilder Girls by Rory Powers. I also gave that one a 3.5. I really would have liked to have seen it more fleshed out and would have enjoyed getting to know the characters a little better. Third was The Hole by Hye-Young. I gave it 2.5. A lot of it felt ableist. I just couldn't get behind a lot of the language that they were using to refer to the main character after they got in their accident. It was also simultaneously slow and rushed at the same time. I don't know how they did that. Fourth, I read Jawbone by Monica Ueda. I gave it 1 star. Would not recommend. If you decide to read it, please, please, please look up the content warning. It's kind of an accomplishment though, because this is the only strictly 1-star read in this entire vlog. There was a 1.5 in October, but there haven't been any 1 stars at all in the month of November until now, so congratulations, Jawbone. And lastly, of course, we read The Butchering Art by Lindsay Fitzharris, and I gave it 5 stars. As far as my favorite reads for this vlog go, it was probably The Butchering Art, The Maiden. Nettle and Bone is absolutely at the top. Neverwhere was also so good. Gallant and The Only Good Indians were also excellent, though I think I might add a 0.5 onto The Only Good Indians at this point, because in retrospect, I love it even more than before. Some of my least favorite were It by Stephen King, notoriously, Jawbone, of course, and The Hole. I forgot about Nothing But Blackened Teeth, but that should tell you something. In the midst of reading these books that I drew from the pumpkin, however, I've also been reading some library books that I checked out on Libby. I had a limited amount of time left to read them because I'd been putting them off, so I kind of just had to rush through them. The first was The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. So good. 5 stars. I think that's my second 5-star read this month, I'm pretty sure. And I loved it. I absolutely adore Aiden Thomas. I think that they should write more, honestly. I would read probably anything that they wrote. Then I read The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Dawkins. That was a first. I haven't read Rachel Dawkins before this, and I'm only just now getting into that kind of genre, like the thriller genre, I guess is what you would call it. I enjoyed it, but I'm still kind of processing it a little bit. Right now it's kind of falling in the 3.5 range. We'll see how I feel later on, though. The last one was The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I gave that one 4 stars. It was an immensely interesting read. Someone compared it to Rebecca mixed with Mexican Gothic, and I can totally see that. I hadn't read anything by this author before, so I might see if I can track down any more of her work. That concludes my reading vlog for November, though, and this is probably going to be my last vlog for the year in general. The next time I'll put one up will be in like January or February next year. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, especially the vlogs. I know that they can be really long at times, but like, believe me, I'm the person who has to edit the material. If anyone knows how much I like to rant, it is me, believe me. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you actually enjoyed it, that you got something from it, and that you'll come back another time. I hope that you're all staying safe out there and that you are having the happiest of holidays regardless of what you celebrate, if you celebrate, and I hope that you are staying safe in this weather, and safe in general, honestly, because let's face it, there are a lot of groups of people congregating in small spaces, and COVID still exists. We're acting like it doesn't, but it does. So yeah, stay safe. Feel free to like and share and subscribe and all that jazz if you would like to. It would be appreciated, but I understand if you don't want to. What's most important, however, is that you do remember to love yourself.